welcome back to my channel Endless Pages. I'm Liv and welcome to today's video, which is my July TBR for the Australian Readathon. Hello, welcome to today's video. Like I said, this is going to be my TBR for the month of July, and in the month of July I will be participating in the Australian Readathon, which is a readathon created by Mel from a book fiend named Mel, the absolutely lovely Mel. This has been going on for a couple of years now, I believe. I have always not been the best at participating, but this year I have made a full proper TBR and plan on participating properly. So I am going to talk you through what I'm reading for this readathon. There is a bingo board, so I'm just going to tell you the prompt and then the book I have selected for that prompt. And obviously the link for the announcement video will be in the description below. I highly encourage you to join in. I'm Australian and I definitely don't read enough Australian authors, especially Indigenous Australian authors, so this is a great way to encourage you to read more Australian books. Like I said, there's a bingo board to complete, so we're just going to talk through the prompts. I mean, technically Mel did say even if you just read one Australian book you have completed the readathon, but touch wood, I'm in a really good reading place at the moment. Like, all I can think about is reading at the moment, plus I'm on uni break, so I feel like this is a better time than any to attempt to do a readathon, and I feel like I have a good shot of completing this bingo board. Hopefully my reading momentum doesn't go down after I say that and I've jinxed it, but yeah. So let's just talk through the prompts. First prompt is read an intersectional book. For that we're going with The Boy from the Mish by Gary Longsborough. I've heard amazing stuff about this author. This is intersectional because it is an Indigenous Australian author, plus it has queer rep. I believe it's YA, I could be wrong, but the character's 17, I think it's giving YA kind of energy. It's a hot summer and life's going alright for 17-year-old Jackson and his family on the Mish. It's almost Christmas, school's out and he's hanging with his mates, teasing the visiting tourists and avoiding the racists in town. Just like every year, Jackson's auntie and annoying little cousins visit from the city, but this time Thomas with his mysterious and troubled past comes with them. As their friendship evolves, Jackson must confront the changing shapes of his relationship with his friends, family, and community, and he must face his darkest secret, a secret he thought he'd locked away from good. This sounds like it'll be really moving and a bit of a confronting read by the sounds of it, with kind of the emotional confrontation of him learning about his identity. So yeah, apparently it's a first love, identity, and the superpower of self-belief. I know Merb from Bin Chicken Books absolutely loves this author, so I have high hopes for this one. The second prompt is read a book in a different format, so like something in a novel in verse or a graphic novel, comic, that kind of vibe. So I struggled with this one a little bit, but I finally found one that was available at my library. So for this one I'm reading the graphic novel In Utero. Look how cool this cover is, by the way. I should move over so I can put it here. Really cool cover. So we follow 12-year-old Hayley, who's dropped off by her mum at a holiday camp in a dilapidated shopping mall after this disastrous explosion. So alienated from other kids, she connects with an eerie older teen named Jen. But soon dark horrors awaken and the two new friends are caught up in a cataclysmic battle between two terrifying creatures who have been lying dormant all this time. Ooh, it sounds really creepy. So it's an intimate thriller about mothers and daughters, the monstrous and mundane, the power of friendship in the midst of catastrophe. Apparently it's Akira meets aliens and Annihilation meets whatever that comic is, I can't say. Evangelion? Is that how you say it? I don't know. This sounds absolutely terrifying. I am trying to read more horror, so I feel like a graphic novel is a great way to ease my scaredy cat energy into reading reading a horror. So yeah, I've literally never heard about this before, so it'll be nice to discover something new. The next prompt is randomly selected. So we've got here my spinner wheel. I've scoured my shelves for 5 more Australian authors and I popped them in this spinner wheel, as you can see. So quickly we have Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. We have Sabriel by Garth Nix. We have This All Come Back Now, which is like an anthology by a bunch of different authors. We have Spice Road, which is by Maya Ibrahim. And we have The Survivors by Jane Harper. So let's spin the wheel and see what we get. I'm kind of nervous. I kind of don't want to get Sabriel because like that's such a big fantasy commitment. Watch me jinx it. Watch me. Oh my god, I jinxed it. every time I do spinner wheels, I jinx it. All right. God damn it. Why do I open my mouth every time? Okay. Sabriel it is, I guess. Me and my big mouth. Anyway, as you saw, I spun the wheel and got Garth Nix. Garth Nix's Sabriel. Don't get me wrong, like, I do want to read this book and I'm excited to read it. It's just, it's like when I'm trying to complete a TBR, a big fantasy is like, a big chunky fantasy is going to slow down my ability to do that. I mean, actually, it's not that chunky, like 400 pages. I could have gotten something chunkier, so, you know, that's not too bad. And look, it's signed and I met him and it was very cool. Anyway, yeah. So this is Sabriel. This is an older Australian fantasy. We follow Sabriel, who has lived outside the walls of the Old Kingdom, away from the random power of free magic and away from the dead who won't stay dead. But now her father, the mage, is missing, and to find him, Sabriel must cross into that treacherous world and face the power of her own extraordinary destiny. I've heard nothing but amazing things. Like, Garth Nix is like one of the biggest Australian fantasy authors, if not maybe the biggest. So I think it's going to be an amazing read. And when I saw him on a panel talking about it, I was like, I must buy this book ASAP. Like, it really caught my interest. I think I'm going to love it. I'm just maybe a little bit intimidated by it. This next prompt, I don't know if I'm pushing it a little bit, but we're going to go with it anyway. Next prompt is an island setting. So for that, I'm going to read The Wife and the Widow by Kristen White. I mean, technically it says that this is set in an island town. And I'm like, his other book I read was set in Australia. I'm assuming this is set in Australia as well. And Australia is an island, so so we're going to count that. It doesn't say if this is set in Australia. Hopefully it is. If not, an island town is close enough. So yeah, this is The Wife and the Widow. I read another book from this author last year and was obsessed with it. So obviously I had to pick up their other work. I think I paid like $2 for this in a Lifeline store, and like it's in like perfect nick. So bargain, I have to get it. So this says a deadly secret, an island town, and a storm brewing. Set against the backdrop of an island town in the dead of winter, The Wife and the Widow is a thriller told from two perspectives. We have Kate, a widow whose grief is compounded by what she learns about her husband's secret life. And then we have Abby, an island local who is forced to confront the evidence that her husband is a murderer. But nothing on this island is quite as it seems. Only when these women are pushed to the edge can they uncover the whole crushing truth about the men in their lives. The Wife and the Widow is another mind-bending power read from Kristen White. It's a brilliant tale of deception and sacrifice from Australia's most exciting new crime writer. Next prompt on the bingo board is published in 2024 or 2025. For that, I'm going with Safe Haven by Shankari Chandran. I think if you've watched some of my videos before, you know what a massive fan of Chai Time at Cinnamon Gardens by this author I was. Blown away by that book. 5 stars. So this is one of their more recent books. Not their most recent, they just published one this year, but one of their more recent books. I'm trying to go in publication order with them so this one doesn't get neglected. Also, look at this cover. Beautiful. So this is about asylum seekers, I believe. So I'll read you the blurb. I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm reading all the blurbs in this video. I'm not very well prepared. And I can't be bothered to memorize the blurbs, to be honest, so this is what we're getting. So, beyond the trees, hidden by the foliage and rows of towering palm trees, the detention center slept fitfully in the heavy summer heat. The palms blocked the ocean gusts that now swirled around him, filling his lungs with the taste of temple flowers and salt. It reminded him of home. He took a deep breath, stepped off the escarpment, and felt the red sand rush up towards him. Arriving in Australia, seeking asylum, Finna dedicates herself to aiding the refugees who are held at Port Camden, a remote island outpost. I probably could have done the island setting for this one. Whatever. Over time, she settles into life with her new community of like-minded people, finding a new family far from her original home. After she speaks out for those being detained, Finna becomes the focus of a media storm that leads to her arrest and the threat of deportation. When a security officer dies under suspicious circumstances, Lucky, a special investigator, arrives to uncover the truth. The mystery is tied to Finna's fate, and the secret she reveals will divide the town and the nation. Safe Haven is about displacement and seeking refuge, but ultimately is a story about finding home and the lengths you'll go to find safety and love. I think her books are very important for Australians to read. Chai Time was mind-blowingly beautiful and a really tough but important read. Next prompt is under 400 pages. For this one, I'm so scared. Okay, I'm gonna put Captive Prince back on the TBR. This is by C.S. Beckett. I'm so scared to read this. Everyone thinks I'm gonna love this, and I feel like I'm gonna love it, but I'm so scared that I'm not gonna love it and that I'm gonna not like a C.S. Beckett book, because if you've seen my videos before, you probably know The Dark Rise, well, it's gonna be a trilogy, I think, but duology so far is now 2 of my favorite books in the whole entire world, and I'm obsessed with them, and I recommend them to anyone who will listen or force people to read it, honestly. So yeah, this is her older series. I feel like it's gonna have similar energy in the romance. What I am a bit scared about is this one is more like slavery at the start, and I know like it develops into something different, but I still am worried about kind of that darker side, even though the romance in Dark Air still does technically have that kind of energy. So I feel like I should be okay with it. I don't know why, I'm just really scared to read this. I don't want to not like it. Like, what if I don't like it? I feel like I'm gonna be so mad at myself. I want to like this so much. This is about Damon, who is a warrior hero to his people and the rightful heir to the throne of, oh god, Aeolus? Let's say that. But when his half-brother seizes power, Damon is captured, stripped of his identity, and sent to serve the prince of an enemy nation as a pleasure slave. Beautiful, manipulative, I can't say that word, manipulative and deadly, his new master, Prince Laurent, epitomizes the worst of the court at Veer. But in the lethal political web of the I'm sick of these fantasy words, I can't read them. Variation court? Nothing is as it seems. And when Damon finds him caught up in a play for the throne, he must work together with Laurent to survive and save his country. For Damon, there is just one rule: never reveal his true identity, because the one man Damon needs is the one man who has more reason to hate him than anyone else. I feel like this is going to be fantastic. I've heard really fantastic stuff. I would probably check the trigger warnings if you were going to check this out, because yeah, it is a dark romance, but I am very excited. And like, I didn't realize, I think I've said this before when I purchased it, like it's only like 270-ish pages. It's tiny, so it's going to be a really quick read. Second last prompt, we have trees on the cover. For that, I am going to be reading Wake by Shelley Burr. Again, I'm going to read the blurb. I'm very sorry, I'm a mess. I'm still not used to filming again, and I'm feeling very lazy today. It's my Sunday, so I can't put too much effort into what I do on a Sunday. So the front says, no forced entry, no fingerprints, no footprints, no time marks. What really happened to young Evie McCreary? So Evelyn simply vanished. The small town of Nanine lies in the harsh red interior of New South Wales. Once a thriving outback centre, years of punishing drought have whittled it down to no more than a couple of pubs and a police station. And its one sinister claim to fame, the still unsolved disappearance of Evelyn 19 years ago from the bedroom she shared with her twin sister. Mina McCreary's life has been defined by the intense and ongoing public interest in her sister's case. Now an anxious and recluse adult, Mina lives alone on her family's sun-baked, destocked sheep farm. The $1 million reward her mother established to solve the disappearance has never been paid out. Enter Lane Holland, a private investigator who dropped out of the police academy to learn a living cracking cold cases. Lane has his eye on the unclaimed money, but he also has darker motivations for wanting to solve the case. And the rest is covered by a library barcode, so I can't read the rest, but I'd love me a good detective Australian outback crime. So I have heard great stuff about Shelley Burr, and she's a crime author that I've been wanting to try out for so long, because if I am to read anything Australian, it is usually Australian crime, because I feel like I keep saying this, but we just seem to be really good at writing Australian crime. I don't know if it's because we have the cool outback settings that we can set the crimes in. That seems to I don't know, go well with the genre, but I'm excited to read this one. The final prompt is reader host fave. For that, I'm going with Terra Nullius, and I'll be listening to that on audio. That is by Claire Coleman, an Indigenous Australian author. So this is like a speculative fiction commentary on the colonisation of Australia. So the blurb reads, Jackie was running. There was no thought in his head, only an intense drive to run. There was no sense he was getting anywhere, no plan, no destination, no future. All he had was a sense of what was behind, what he was running from. Jackie was running. The natives of the colony are restless. The settlers are eager to have a nation of peace and to bring the savages into line. Families are torn apart. Re-education is enforced. This rich land will provide for all. This is not Australia as we know it. This is not the Australia of our history. There we have it, my crazy Australian readathon TBR. Look at all those books, plus Terra Nullius, plus the graphic novel. So I have lots of reading to get done, but I'm really happy with this TBR, to be honest. Like, we've got Indigenous rep, we've got queer rep, we've got fantasy, we've got thrillers. Like, I'm really happy with this TBR. It's a really cool sounding TBR. And it's fun to be back having a TBR and filming videos again, which is awesome, and I've missed it. So let me know in the comments below, are you planning on participating in the Australian Readathon? Or let me know what you are planning on reading in the month of July. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. I know I've said a million times that I'm making a comeback, but I am this time. Definitely in the uni break, I'll be posting as much as I can and pre-filming a lot, hopefully. So I have a vlog coming out soon, so subscribe to see that when that comes out. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in whatever the hell I post next. Bye!